Hello, class. I thought I'd make a video on how to do your ID and the environmental scan for your proctored online exams. So we use Respondus for chemistry, online chemistry courses at BCTC, and I will send out a Blackboard announcement on how to use Respondus and how to set up your computer to take the proctored exam. I will say it's always important that if you can use an Ethernet connected computer cable to from your computer to your modem or router. Do not use Wi-Fi, and the reason why is Wi-Fi can time out, and if it times out, then you're going to be out of the test, and then you're going to have to spend the time logging back on and trying to get back into the test. And it can be done, but it can be some time passed, and so and it causes students to uh, get over agitated or excited because they've lost the exam. Because once you click on the exam, the timer starts, and if you exit out of the exam, the timer still continues, and then you run out of time. So I highly recommend that you use an Ethernet connected computer. Also, you should have a webcam. That's a requirement for this class, and you should have a microphone so I can also hear what's going on, so I can tell nobody's feeding you answers or so forth. So when you're in Respondus, they're going to ask you for a student ID, and it takes a picture of you as a student, and then it'll ask for your ID, and you should hold your ID up to the camera like so, and make sure that they get a good view of your either driver's license, or you can use a BCTC ID, but you do need an ID so that we can match your information on the card with the with your picture. And you should kind of you should have like a little screen to see this. So just monitor, like if you're too close, that's not good. And you don't want to be too far away. Like I can't tell anything from here. So just adjust this until you get to, something that fills up the screen like that. Hold it steady and it'll take a picture. All we're looking for is the ID. We've already taken a picture of your person. So the next thing Respondus is going to ask you to do is to do an environmental scan. So on the environmental scan, what I'm looking for is I want to verify that you are using the correct calculator for the exam. So you need to hold your exam up, or your calculator up to the computer, and show me that it is a TI-30X2S. This is the only calculator you can use on the exam. Some students think that the Alex calculator will be available for the exam, and it's not. It's only for the homework modules. So you must purchase a TI-30X. It's a requirement for the class, and you should have already done that. But just make sure that you show your calculator. The other thing that you want to be able to do is you're not allowed a notebook of paper, but you are allowed 2 sheets of blank scratch paper for the exam. And so you just need to hold these up to the camera, maybe about this far away, and just show me that they're both sides are empty. Okay, so do that. So now you show me that you have 2 blank pieces of scratch paper. You show me that you have your TI-30X2S calculator. The next thing you do is environmental scan. So environmental scan requires me to take the camera off of my computer, or if I have a laptop, I have to pick the laptop up. And I just show what it looks like around the room that I'm taking the exam in. So, just show that around there like this. The main things is, that there's nothing along the back of the computer here. If you look back here, you don't see anything back here, and there's nothing here, but just take the time to scan it. That way We know you don't have any extra materials here. Again, when you take the test, you should be in a room by yourself. It should be quiet. And the other thing I will say, which is kind of I'm having a problem here with, to my right, I have a big glass window, and it's making me look darker than, and it's hard kind of to see what I look like. Do not set your computer up so that you're like here and that you got this big glass behind you, because see how it washes that out? You can't even see. It's just a black image there. So, try to keep your lighting, your camera away from the light, or a back window or something like that. So that's what they're asking for. Environmental scan is just to make sure that you are, that, the area is secure. The other thing I would say is, before you take the exam, um, you see how I've got my upper body and my head within the image. If you bob out of the picture, which is hard to do at this level, but if you're up here close, and then you start bobbing out of the screen, Proctorio is going to count that as an incident, because they're saying maybe you're looking off at something else or somebody's helping you outside the screen. So try to keep your body, this much of your body, within the camera at all times. Yes, you can still work on stuff, and you're still, if I'm writing on my paper in front of me, you still see my head and my body. I'm not out of the image. So I would stress that part, because I've just seen students who are not following those procedures, and I have to write them up for that. And then if it happens again, it's a cheating incident. So make sure you do all these things. If you have questions about it, make sure you contact me. But again, 2 blank pieces of scratch paper, your TI-30X2S calculator, a pen or pencil, a quiet room, no other materials. That's what's required for the exam. As far as the exam goes, you will just, get on Google, and you will go to BCTC's website, click on My Path, and then you'll go to your Blackboard courses. And let's talk about this a little bit. So I'll click on that, and then your class here. Okay. So you go to McGraw-Hill Alex. So click on that. And yours is going to look a little different than mine, but I will show you what you should have. So you click on assignments, click on assignments. Let's talk about what's going to happen here. Once you complete the chapter 2.6, 2.7 module, it looks like a lot of you complete. I see this is mostly red here. This is due on Thursday. 2.5 is due tomorrow. So 2.5 is due tomorrow. 2.67 is due on Thursday. Once you complete this post-knowledge check will show up. This post-knowledge check is kind of a summary of all that you've done through the ALEX modules. Now, that's not to say if I can do great on the post-knowledge check, you're going to do great on the exam. It's a start, but I would also tell you that you need to do the odd problems in the back of the chapter to see a broader range of problems that you could see like on the exam, because, again, the ALEX module is just a sample of the type of problems. Once you complete the post-knowledge check, before you take the Respondus exam, click on this practice quiz and do this one question. This is why you do this. It shows you what Respondus is like. It helps you determine whether your computer and camera are compatible with Respondus. If you're having problems with the practice quiz, then don't start the exam. It's better to contact me. And then if you do fine on the practice quiz, then you're ready to take the test for chapter 1, which you'll click on this. Again, it is a lockdown browser. It does require webcam, microphone. You cannot have any tabs open. I get students email me, they're panicked, like they can't get into the exam. It's because they have something open besides the web page with the exam. So that means, you know, reboot your computer, use the Control-Alt-Delete to end all tasks but that web page. And if you do that, then it should let you in. I will also post a QR code on the Blackboard announcements. You can click on it if you need technical support from Alex. The other thing I would say, which I see this a lot, is don't do the test on Wednesday. If the test is assigned on Tuesday, do it on Tuesday. I don't know how many times I see a student try to access the exam like the last hour or two, and they say, well, my internet's down. That's not an excuse. If you read the excuses in Blackboard as to what would cause us to reschedule an exam or something like that, it's got to be a systematic error that it affects everybody. If it's just your computer or just your network, that is not a systematic error. Um, and that's why you need to do it Tuesday. If you don't have a network, you don't have a good computer, you can always come to the BCTC Newtown campus library, ask at the front desk that you're taking an exam and you need a computer with a microphone camera. They have them behind the front desk. They'll give you one. You can set up your set that system up at a computer in the library. You may also be able to do that in a computer lab or the IT lab, but see, that's why you don't want to wait to the last minute, because once the test closes, that's it. There's the questions and the exam, and that's the way it'll be scored unless you have a verifiable excused absence. So don't wait till the last minute. And generally that doesn't happen because it was open for 2 days. So I just say that most of the times it is a 0 if you don't complete the exam. That's why it's better to do it Tuesday. So I hope that helps. I hope it sets you up to make this part smooth. I mean, you want to focus on the questions on the exam, not all this procedure to set up your computer for it. So watch this video and you can rewatch it again. If you have questions, just make sure you email me ahead of the exam so we can get that worked out before the crunch time. So like I said, I can't stress enough you do the exam on the first day. Some people think, well, if I wait till the last minute, I'll learn some more material. It doesn't happen. Uh, it's a little each day in this class. If you cram at the end, generally you just get nervous and then you forget all of it. And so it's a little each day. You got to develop that confidence, and waiting an extra day is not going to make a difference. All right. Thank you.